And now we move to a bit of business, where President Emmerson Mnangagwa is hopeful Zimbabwe's ailing economy will turn around this year due to an increase in tourist arrivals and the recent discovery of oil and gas in Muzarabani, Mashonaland East. Last year, the World Bank projected Zimbabwe's economy to slow to 3.5% in 2024, with agricultural output expected to fall due to the induced drought. Meanwhile, the inflation was projected to ease to 132.2% in 2023 and 36.1% in 2024, supported by economic stability, subject to evolving global dynamics. Furthermore, economists say in terms of the discovery of oil and gas, it will take a bit of time, probably for the country to begin to benefit from this important discovery. Now, joining me on the news to discuss this is an economist, Brains Muchemwa. Hello, Brains. Thank you so much for joining me at this time.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. So, Brains, what are your projections for Zimbabwe's economic performance in 2024? Are you expecting growth or a decline in the overall economic activity?
We expect that the economy is definitely going to grow in 2024. Of course, it's not going to grow as much as it did in 2023. Growth is expected around 3.5%. Especially on account of output from the mining sector. You know, we have discovered lithium, and most of the big mines output is coming on stream in 2024. So definitely we should expect some significant growth in the economy, notwithstanding the fact that the agricultural sector is going to decline by about 5% because of the expectation of drought.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, but what factors do you believe will contribute to the predicted economic outlook for 2024? You said you've discovered lithium, which is one of it. Are there any specific sectors or industries that are likely to thrive or even struggle?
Yeah, when you look at agriculture, it's definitely going to struggle. But I think what is more important in Zimbabwe is the stable currency that we are using, which is predominantly the US dollar. What that is going to do is that is going to create a stable environment for all other sectors of the economy. And with that, you expect that definitely the economy is going to remain stable, and the growth in especially the services sector, transport and distribution, retail, we expect growth to remain strong in all those sectors of the economy. And as long as the economy is underpinned by a strong currency, we expect that definitely we are going to remain in the growth mode.
Oh, while we're still positive about the economy and in light of the recent policy changes, how do you see the government's role affecting the economic landscape in 2024? Are there any proposed reforms or initiatives that could have a significant impact?
Yeah, when you look at the recent changes that happened on the tax front, especially on the taxation aspects where the government is trying to tap into the informal sector, you would appreciate Zimbabwe has got a huge informal sector that is slightly bigger than the formal sector. And there are recent tax reforms that have been implemented that will tap into the informal sector. And with that, we expect that definitely government revenue is going to grow. And when government revenue grows, we expect as well government to be able to implement some of the projects that it has, especially capital projects, infrastructure projects. And if government can do that without printing money, that definitely is a good thing. And we expect that to underpin the stable environment that we expect in 2024.
All right, so Brains, how do you assess the current inflation rate in Zimbabwe, and what measures do you think can be, taken to manage it?
Inflation remains still very high in Zimbabwe. It's around 20% thereabout. When you compare it to the regional peers, our inflation is still very high. And going forward, we expect inflation to remain moderately high. We don't expect it to come down. Why? Because when you look at the depreciation of the local currency, it remains a bit high, and when the local currency continues to depreciate, we expect as well, of course, inflation to remain on the high side, notwithstanding, of course, the fact that our inflation is blended. So yes, our inflation is definitely expected to remain on the high side. But when you look at the government policy in particular, their desire to pursue a tight monetary policy and a lean, or rather a small budget deficit, we hope that is going to at least tame the inflation rate, which has been problematic in Zimbabwe for the last maybe 3 decades.
All right, well, thank you so much, Brains Muchemwa, economist, for joining me on the news to discuss this.
Thank you.